If you know me, you know I love four-letter words. When it comes to sales, there's only two four-letter words that I care about: sold and next.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it.
Ask any salesperson if they think they're good at sales. They all say yes, but there's a few basic things that most salespeople don't do that prevent them from selling a whole lot more.
If I was going to describe a good salesperson, it would be someone that can listen to the problem, listen to the objections, and answer those objections with truthful solutions. A bad salesperson is someone that doesn't listen and sells you shit that you don't need and doesn't care if you don't need it. I would probably be considered a bad salesman because when someone tells me no, I leave it at that.
A good salesperson is personable. They're not pushy, confident. A bad salesperson, on the flip side, is pushy. They don't actually speak to your problem. They don't have listening skills, and they're not attractive. I'm just adding that one in for free.
Traits of a good salesperson is someone who can build trust and relationship very quickly.
Slightly pushy, making sure that they're getting over any sort of negative feedback they may be feeling from the customer. It's also someone who's very good at reading body language and knowing what keywords and trigger words kind of make someone perk up versus turn away.
Traits of a bad sales is someone who is not trustworthy, someone who doesn't show you the value of what you're getting.
Someone who doesn't have the drive to continue reaching out to people, getting to know them, creating relationships. Not being able to do those things would definitely inhibit your ability to be a good salesperson.
So I think a really great salesperson is one who listens to their customers first and then finds ways to highlight the value in the product that they're selling so that it speaks directly to the consumer. A bad salesperson is a person who monologues rather than dialogues. If you're trying to sell me something and you're not listening to what I care about, telling me how you're going to solve my specific pain points and answering my questions, then you're not going to work for me.
A good salesperson is usually really good at listening and understanding the problems that people are having, and then figuring out how to solve those problems and overcome the objections that the customer has. A bad salesperson is somebody who doesn't listen to what the customer needs and wants and just talks and talks and talks and doesn't actually help solve the problem the customer has.
I think the biggest mistake that salespeople make on a widespread basis is they don't know how to ask for the sale. Do you want to go ahead and get this? Can we go ahead and write this up? When do you want to start? Can I go ahead and place this order for you? These are examples of asking for the sale. Salespeople are often afraid to ask for the sale. They feel like they've built a rapport with whoever they're talking to, and then they're worried that if they ask them to buy something, they're going to offend that person. Most of the time, that person walked in off the street or called the salesperson showing interest in what it is that they're selling. Of course, they're interested in buying. You need to ask for the sale. If you are afraid to ask someone to buy what you're selling, you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get rid of that bad habit. Practice it. Know how. There's no secret sauce when it comes to closing a sale. You just need to ask people if they want to buy something. Most people want to buy something or they're in the middle on it. You asking, oh, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Done. You will increase your sales immediately if you start making sure that you always ask for the sale.
But it's like everything else. Like you got to actually go out there and make it happen. It requires that you talk to more people, right? Now, having a podcast has allowed me to talk to more people. It has helped me really fine-tune my voice and fine-tune my message and listen to people and their problems and find solutions for their problems. So I'm getting better. But here's the deal. You still have to ask for the business. And like many entrepreneurs out there, we talk to a lot of people and we find solutions for a lot of people and we end the conversation right there. What we fail to do, myself included, and this is why I don't think I'm a great salesman yet. I'm okay. But when I help somebody, I need to ask for that referral. I need to ask for that. Who do you know that can help, that I can help with their content creation?
I actually consider myself to be a very good sales engineer and salesperson a little bit, but definitely a really good sales engineer. A sales engineer is somebody who's an expert at the product that can work with the customer and the sales team to figure out how to best deploy the solution, figure out what the customer needs, handle more technical sales part of the sales process.
Great salespeople solve problems for their clients, users, customers, whoever it is you're doing business with. If you're selling something, you are in the business of selling solutions. Do you ever go somewhere and you talk to a salesperson and they tell you 10,000 features of whatever it is they're talking about does? And then they're talking and talking and talking, and you just quit listening. Selling features instead of benefits is a huge mistake that people in all industries and all forms of sales make. People don't buy the features of the product. They buy the benefits that those features create. If you do find yourself talking about a feature and that's something you're selling, you need to include what the advantage it provides is and the benefit. Keep that in mind. FAB, features, advantages, benefits. You are in the business of selling solutions. You may have products and services that go with it, but you are trying to solve a problem that a buyer has. That problem could be maybe they're not getting what they need out of an existing product. Maybe they're looking for something to either create efficiency or save money or make life easier. Maybe the product gives them peace of mind. These are all benefits and solutions that exist when it comes to whatever it is that you sell. That's what your buyers are looking for. And if you make everything centric around that, you're going to sell more stuff.
Here's a little something for all my salespeople. We had a guy today call wanting to sell us something and forgot what company he was calling. Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But when he pronounced our company's name, he didn't even say KC Hemp Co., which you would have very, very clearly seen on our website. He said Case Chempka. The fuck? The fuck? Come on. Be better. Do better. Get those sales. Put in some work. Let's go.
I own a company that sells software development services. I get 5 people a day that reach out on LinkedIn or email or wherever and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you about the software development services we sell. Really? Did you do 10 seconds of research? Because I'm your fucking competitor. You got to do some research. Who are you calling? I'm busy. I don't just take random cold calls. I get tons of messages in every inbox of every online digital platform you can imagine. So why do I want to talk to you? I got tons of people reaching out. I ignore almost all of them. When I don't, it's because that person did some research and they learned something about me, they learned something about my company, and then they use that to get my attention.
I think the role and type of salespeople has changed a lot. I think it's very different from the type of industry that you're in. So for example, at Stackify, we might have people that are cold calling and just trying to set appointments. And then you have people that are just doing demos, and then you have people that are actually trying to close the deals. It's also very different if you're doing enterprise sales, where it could take weeks or months to close a deal. So I think sales is just very different from one industry to another and one vertical to another.
The sales process of a house is a little more complicated than like buying a bike or something. Houses are really expensive, and most people can't afford one without a loan from a bank. Getting a loan from a bank for a lot of money ends up being a ton of paperwork, time, and information. The bank needs to check your credit. They also have to appraise the house, and what we hand them is a plan. So based on the plan and the specs of the house, they have to determine, is this house worth way more than they are loaning for? Because they want to know, You know, if you default on your loan, they want to know they're going to make money, not even just break even. They want to make money on the deal if you break the deal. So that makes it a little more complicated for sure.
A great salesperson is always prospecting, meaning they're always looking for the next sale. They're always paying attention to where possible clients or customers might be. They're making phone calls, sending emails, doing things like watching social media and joining groups and seeing when and how people are talking about the products they sell or their need for products. I'll give you an example. I am a member of several online startup groups, and there are constantly people in there asking about software developers. Those are leads. Those are people that are interested in buying what you have to sell. The more prospecting, the more sales. And if you aren't prospecting as a salesperson, I can guarantee you, you're selling remarkably less anything than you probably could.
People talk about getting leads in sales. There are so many ways to get leads. And I remember I was teaching this class on entrepreneurship, and I wanted to show them ways to grow their business. I think at that time I had 21 different ways that Marknology had gotten a client. And it was everything from being in the sauna. Honestly, it's probably one of my most strange ones, but making an introduction in the sauna. You know, I've got them at speaking events. I've got them through referrals. You know, I've got them, I had this list, 21 different ways. And my point was there's more than one way to find customers. And so if anyone tells you like, man, Facebook is, you have to do Facebook, you have to do Instagram, you have to do LinkedIn, you don't have to do anything. Do what works for you. I've invested in the email sequence. I've invested in the Marknology website. I've invested in video. Made a lot of investments really that all kind of lead to conversion when it comes to working with Marknology, and I'd say they pay it off. I think it's one of our things that's going well, and one of the risks I took that has paid off, and I'm really happy with it.
When you get a lead or someone shows interest in what you do or what you sell, do you follow up? Do you reach back out and say, hey, let's continue the conversation about my product or services? Where do you want to use it? How do you want to use it? What can I do to help you use it? These are all types of follow-up. When it comes to follow-up, though, you need to have a reason to do it. And that's always really easy. You're calling or emailing or seeing if there was any information that you could clarify or anything else you could clarify about your product and services. The clarification call or follow-up is a built-in reason to call, email, message, anything. I just wanted to see if there was anything I needed to clarify about what our product does, about what our service could do. I wanted to follow up and see if there was any information I could clarify. I know I gave you a lot of information about our product the other day. Are there any questions I can answer? It's that simple. A clarification or a clarification call is always a reason to follow up with a sales prospect.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him. Swimming with sharks in the tank, Aquaman with how I think. How many could step on the stage and say they taking it all to the bank?